Daily Broadside, day 664. Talk a bit about Calypso. Not Calypso music, Calypso beverages. If you don't have these where you live, I don't know if you're really living, because this is the best fruit punch, fruit drinks, limeades, lemonades, whatever that money can buy. Yes, they are high in sugar. There's like 50 some grams of sugar, which is absolutely insane. And kind of high in caloric intake, 230, but they should be a treat, not something you drink at every meal. Nevertheless, Calypso is where it's at. And if you read here, it's a taste of the islands. This one here is Paradise Punch Lemonade, which is like a fruit punch. It's probably my favorite, but there are some phenomenal flavors. But I got to tell you, when I think of Calypso, I think of jerk chicken. I think of topless beaches. I think of steel drum bands. I think of crystal blue water. I think of Harry Belafonte for some dumb reason. But nevertheless, what I don't think of is Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is where this crap is made. And I don't understand how you can make such a perfect concoction of Caribbean beverage in Milwaukee. It's got to be a transplant. It's got to be somebody up there that used to live, because this Calypso music, it originated in Trinidad. Not just Trinidad, but Trinidad and Tobago, his friend, Tobago. I think I'd rather be called Trinidad. Like if it was me and my brother, I'd want to be Trinidad and he could be Tobago. Because really, if you take Tobago by itself, it just sounds dumb. Trinidad and Tobago rolls off the tongue, Turks and Caicos, Trinidad and Tobago, that kind of thing. St. Nevis and Kitts, I think I'm saying that right. All those countries sound good, but then when you take one out, and you're like, think of it as a name, you're like, Tobago! What's up, boy? Tobago! That doesn't really ring. But if you were like, Trinidad, let's go play some ball at the park. Trinidad, let's go play ball at the park. Tobago, not so much. Tobago, it's got a bunch of words coming to mind when you hear Tobago. It sounds like Tabasco. It sounds like some kind of potato chip. I don't know, like a Dorito with Tabasco on it, a Tobago. I don't know. Anyway, my point is this. The Calypso beverage, it's got to be somebody that originated from Trinidad and Tobago or some kind of Caribbean island, moved up to Milwaukee for God knows only one reason. Because that first winter, his balls were so sucked up into his body that he couldn't even comprehend that kind of level of cold, Because Milwaukee and Trinidad and Tobago, never the twain shall meet as far as temperate climates go. So, he was up there like, and maybe that's what it did. Maybe he was like so hornswoggled, I don't know if that's the right word, but that's what I'm going with, that winter, that he was just perplexed, was just bamboozled by the weather, that he took to the inside. And he's like, I'll be in the basement with my space heater. And he came out with a concoction like known as this. And maybe that's where it originated from. Maybe this is from Milwaukee because it came from the bowels of a bad winter. Just a deluge of snow that said, Mr. Trinidad Tobago basically was like, I ain't going out until the sun comes out in like late May. And he spent downstairs just copious hours just woodshedding the perfect formula for Paradise Punch Lemonade, bloop, and then pops it out, and here we are. But nevertheless, if you can't find this at your house or where you live, you need to move. I mean, it's that important. Like if you live in Georgia and they don't sell this in Georgia, and I got to figure that Georgia's closer to the Caribbean than Milwaukee, so they should. But let's say they don't, and you're all situated, you've started your own business and everything's just rocking and rolling and flowing great. And you couldn't be bothered by the world because you're making good money. You got great customer base. Everybody loves you, whatever. You've built a house that you love. It's a custom floor plan and all that. And then you go to the store after watching this and they don't sell Calypso. It's time to pack up and start over. It's time that you're going to be building your business in Milwaukee or some other state that sells the kill to the Lipso. Nevertheless, be that as it may. My apologies for the break in action. Every time somebody calls, it just interrupts. Even if you got it, I think it even does it when you put it on like Do Not Disturb. But here's the thing, right? Let's say you do have a great business and you're packing up because, you've decided that there's not enough Calypso sold or any in a tri-state area, so you're getting the hell out of Dodge. And then your wife or significant other, whoever comes in, they're like, why are you packing up? And they're like, we're moving. And she's like, why are we moving? You're like, need I say more? There's no Calypso. I mentioned this at dinner. You're like, we're moving because they don't sell a beverage. Why don't we just drive somewhere where they do and buy a few cases? I mean, Henry, we've got an amazing business going for us right now. And you're like, I built it once. I can build it again. Calypso. That may seem far-fetched and completely absurd. But the only reason it would sound that way is that you haven't put your lips around this bottle.